Okay, so tonight I am drinking Sprite. I don't know, I was feeling a bit nauseous and I was like, okay, I think maybe Sprite might help. The drink, and it seems to be helping actually. So I don't know if there is some sort of special thing about Sprite curing nausea. But anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about oh, Bajan, you're so sweet. Guys, hit the like button, people. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bajan is reminding y'all to hit that like button, please, and you don't be stingy with the likes. But yeah, hit that like button as you guys come in. So for those of you who may or may not have seen it on the internet, it looks like Miss Wanda is coming back on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So Love and Marriage Huntsville, well, Owen decided to post a clip of her coming back. So I guess we're gonna be seeing Wanda on the show. I'm gonna play the clip for you guys in a second. Um, we're going to talk about Wanda. We're going to talk about this post that I put on their page, which I thought was hilarious because of the comments. And I think it could be a fun little game for us to play and join in the fun as well. So I will show you guys that in a second. I also do have some Married to Medicine tea and news. I also want to play like an OG Raw Housewives of Atlanta clip for you guys as well. If I thought I had it saved over here, but I literally watched it and I laughed at it and I think I mistakenly closed it. That's funny. But I'm sure I can find it. But basically it was a clip where Nini and Portia got into it. And it was funny to like watch them go back and forth because you know Portia and Nini tend to get along quite normally. Although now I know they're currently beefing, but this was like an OG clip of both of them sort of going back. The door is closed, you know, all that stuff. So I think it might be fun to like go back and like watch that together. So it would be a pretty chill live. But yeah, guys, just please hit that like button, please, and thank you. Okay, Bajan is clearly not feeling Miss Wanda being back on the show, as you can see. It is let me share my screen. But before I share my screen, whilst I do that, what do you guys think of Wanda back on the show? Let me share my screen. Now, I think she looks very pretty in that pink. You all know I give credit where credit is due. I think she looks good in the pink. Oh, the bob is bobbing as well. Like, okay, okay, Wanda with the budget. Like the bob is bobbing, honey. That bob is not stiff. Not at all. Not the hose. Not the hose. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, one thing I hear though is the food be good. So if you guys are over there in Huntsville, y'all better let us know if the food is good. That the food is doing what the food needs to be doing. But yeah. I always say steak medium. Medium. Don't always but you don't know you this one. You went wrong. Okay. Okay. So it seems like Wanda's energy with the cast seems to be pretty good right now. I don't see Nell in the picture. I don't see Nell. I don't see any interaction with Nell because it looks like it's Kimmy, Tisha. Yeah, it's definitely looking like Kimmy and Tisha. Those are the voices I heard. I also saw Destiny laughing. So it's Kimmy, Tisha, and Destiny so far. Um, yeah, I don't see Nell in the picture, so I get the impression that maybe Nell is not going to be there, which I'm not surprised about because it sounds like Nell and Tisha be going through it. So I would not be surprised if it's just um, Destiny, Tisha, and Kimmy. But I feel like they're definitely bringing Wanda back for the views, because I feel like the views are probably not doing what it needs to be doing because people are constantly in the comments every time I post a video talking about they're not watching the show. So if a lot of the people that watch my videos are not watching the show, and like a lot of people even on other like platforms as well, I'm still seeing like some people being in the comments like, oh, they don't watch the videos or they don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville anymore. You know, even when I look at comments on own, it doesn't seem very favorable sometimes towards the show, which gives me the impression that people are not really watching the show. And if they're not watching the show, then the show is probably thinking like, I got to do whatever I got to do to bring the views in. So I definitely think they are bringing Wanda in for the views. I think that Wanda is one of those people whether you either hate her or you love her. And I think that much is so clear from like see the comments. Someone said I'll definitely be tuning out now. So this person is clearly not feeling the fact that Wanda is going to be back. And then if you see another comment says, good, she's back. So that's what I mean about it's like, there's always going to be people that are for and then people that are against. Another person said, yes, what we needed and should have left Wanda J. Blige as the comic relief needed, period. Someone else said, all I say is don't allow coleslaw a platform. Oh my God, no, 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 this is not, no, don't say that. Do not say that. It's about to be some mess. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm glad that she's back, has her food truck and going, but I'll definitely not be watching her messiness on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So it's interesting. It seems like this person supports her, but is still like, I'm not going to be watching. So that's what I mean about how I feel like ain't nobody really feeling her like that. Hello, D Hufford. How are you? You're welcome to the channel. Everybody say hi to D. D is a new person to the channel. Welcome to the family. I hope you enjoyed here. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving. So Tommy says Miss Wanda might attack Nell. I can predict that, Loki. Yes, absolutely. I feel like Wanda and Nell are not going to get along. I feel like Wanda and Nell are too similar, to be honest. And I think sometimes that's usually what happens when like you're too similar with someone else. It's usually a recipe for disaster. You guys either love each other like crazy or you can't stand each other. And so I feel like Nell and Wanda have similarities, and I think that's why they really do not get on. So I am not going to be surprised. I would be tuned in to watch what Bajan says is the Clash of the Titans. I will be there, popcorn in one hand and a little bit of drink on the other hand, enjoying myself whilst I watch the mess. So yeah, it's definitely been a very, very I think it'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens really. D. Herford says, I think Carlos is desperate and will do anything to keep the show from being cancelled. I agree. And I have some empathy for him, and I'll say why. Not necessarily for him as such, but for the fact that he wants to keep the show from being cancelled. I just think about it like when I maybe start a project or something, even if it's not going well, like a business, for instance. Sometimes when I start a business, I'm working on a business, and even if you feel like, oh, it's not going well, you don't want to like throw in the towel. You want to figure out what can I do differently? How can I make sure the people are watching? Is there anything I need to switch up? That is what I would have loved to see, right? If Carlos can put that energy into giving us some really good content, switching things up, getting us some new couples who are not family, who are not in or have some sort of alliance with the Scots, who will just get in there and engage with the rest of the group, right? I feel like we may be able to salvage the show. But it just feels like they're still recycling the other people. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, okay, what's next? Wanda is back now. Are we then going to have Arian Curry back? Is that and I say back because I know there were references to her, but she was never on the show. But are we going to then have Arian Curry? What happens next? Are we going to have the alleged side chick of Marceau, who Arian had an interview with? Arian and Martell had an interview with. Like, where does it stop? Right? Because it's like, if we start opening the floodgates and we start bringing in the mistresses, what happens next? Right? And so I just think it's one of those things where it's just a little bit, it's a little bit tricky. But I definitely understand Carlos wanting to do anything to keep the show from being cancelled. I think if I had a project too, I would probably want to do anything I can, of course within reason, to make sure the show doesn't get cancelled. Carlos Quinn thinks he's King Midas. He needs to concentrate on his shows and stop being in Bravo's business. Him and that dry show needs to go. Do you know what? You have such a huge point, Bajan. And I think I actually agree with you. I think that he has such critical eyes with Bravo. He's able to be like, oh, this person is a star. This person is this. We enjoyed this person. So he can't be delusional to think that we enjoy his show and the content. So I think deep down he knows that the show isn't what it needs to be, but at the same time, I don't think he is humble enough to do what needs to be done, right? So I feel like if he comes out and apologizes for the way he treated Mel and not protecting her, and then does a reshuffling of the cast, I think people will have more empathy for him, and I think people would watch the show and people will give him another chance. Um, People really want to support Carlos, I think, because the black producer doing big, in the community. So people really wanted to rally around Carlos. The problem is people saw how he treated Mel, um, and how it was complicit in certain things, and people just don't want no parts of it, and it's completely understandable. Um, so I just think, yes, he needs to really focus on his shows, be honest about where they are, and how can you fix it? And also, I think he also needs to learn that not everything is drama. And I think that's the thing about Love and Marriage Huntsville, right? Not everything is drama. Drama would come out organically, um, but it feels like drama is absolutely being pushed, which, yeah, it's not good. D says, I have no empathy for Carlos. This is a mess of his making. The show could have still been if he had the others share their reality. Mel and Martell did their part. Do you know what, D? You're right. You are absolutely right. This is a mess that he created. He nobody forced him. He did that all on his own. And I feel like he had the opportunity to fix things but refused to fix it. Because when Mel had that show where she went live and was she and on his live show rather, and she was honest about how she felt, that would have been a perfect opportunity for Carlos to have been like, "Do you know what? I hear you." That could have just been the perfect opportunity. I hear you, that is it, that is all. But he chose not to do that. So it's like, whose fault is that? That was his doing, right? So yeah, I'm with you on that as well, in terms of that's a mess of his making. Um, and I agree that Martell and Mel did their part. They were always very vulnerable. For all of Martell's mistakes, I won't say he was vulnerable fully, but he shared a whole lot more than others would have shared. And I say that because Martell would not have shared anything if Mel did not share stuff. So I feel like, yes, but altogether, I would say Mel and Martell did their part as well. But the rest, I think they just let the rest get away with not just existing, which should not be the case at all. If you're on a show, you have to show your real life. You have to also be like, even think about it, back then it was Mel that was always promoting the show. The rest were not actively promoting the show, which I thought was so weird. Because it's like, if it's your show and you're part of the show, why, you should want it to succeed. You should be going out of your way. You should be making sure. But it just felt like they were doing the barest minimum. So I'm not really surprised that, like, it has turned into what it now is, really. Badger says, no, don't celebrate it over here in England. Christmas is the celebration over here. Yes, absolutely. Get rid of Snooty 1.0 and 2.0. Oh, snots. Oh my gosh. Bajan with the reads, honey. Um, but yeah, I can definitely see that. I feel like if they got rid of both of them, I think that the show would be better. Or they can keep Tisha and Marceau, but get rid of Kimmy and what is his name? Maurice. Right? Because I feel like there's nothing extra that they bring to the show. Personally, I feel like Marceau is entertaining. He has enough of a personality to stay on the show. I just don't think that Kimmy and Maurice are bringing anything. We can already see from like the trailer that is going to be about this whole SCX business. And it's like, are we still talking about SCX? Like, can we give it a rest? Like we're too grown for all of this. So yeah, I would say it is a little bit sort of concerning on that front, that is the only storyline we're going to get from them. So in that case, my advice would be like, just cut them off, remove them. They can be friends of Tisha and Marceau, come every now and then, get some new couples in, maybe get like two new couples, um let them be interesting people, live in Huntsville, may have lived in Huntsville for a few years. I just think that they can do better than they are currently doing right now. Like, for instance, the newest girl on Bell Collective, I can't remember what her name is, but she got in there and she was immediately immersed in the group. She was engaging with the group. And it was such a fun experience to just see her navigating the group. And I was just so like, I was so proud. I don't even know the lady, but I was so proud because it's like, how many times do you see somebody just come on the show and then just get in there and they are connecting with people, making making bonds and creating bonds with people, um and also they just get into the drama of the group and they don't even seem like a completely new person. It's like, oh girl, you look like you've been here all these while, right? All this while, even though you have not been, right? So I just think it's just things like that that is missing from Love and Marriage Huntsville. So D said, I was a big Carlos supporter. It's not only the way he treated Mel, it's the way he treats women across all his shows. All have been cancelled except Love and Marriage Huntsville and Bell Collective. Ooh, that is also an interesting point. And I'm glad that you also said that you were a big Carlos supporter, because I think sometimes like people forget that yes, there were people that were supporting Carlos. And it's just because of his actions that people are now like no longer being as supportive of him. I will say, and now that you said about the way he treats women, I just remembered what Monique had to say. And Monique was like, he did that worse than the white men over there on Bravo did. Right. And so when you think about it in that way, it's like, yo, what is going on? If you think about what was the show that he put Malaysia in with a bunch of girls, I can't remember what the show was, but I remember thinking the way the show was sort of portrayed, it would be around Malaysia, only for us to even barely see Malaysia. And that show was very much given ratchet. It's definitely, there is a pattern there, right? I think there is a pattern where you bring people on the show, you bring women on the show, treat them a certain way, and that trickles down, that trickles down to what we see on the show, or not protect them in situations where they should be protected. um and so I just think, I'm not surprised that now he only has two shows left. And I'm quite surprised that, maybe he's pitching things in the background, because I would imagine that he would be pitching shows in the background. And because if I'm a producer and I only have two shows I'm a part of, I would be like scrambling trying to figure out what's next, especially if those two shows, well, I think Bell Collective is probably doing okay, but I don't think Love and Marriage Huntsville has the same level of support and people backing it as it did previously. So it's probably not doing as well as it should be doing. Um so, hey guys, I can see a few people just came in. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button as you come in. Please hit that like button. Don't be stingy with the likes. But seriously, though, I hope you guys have had a wonderful Thanksgiving for those of you who celebrated. Welcome to the live. We're currently just talking about Carlos and Love and Marriage Huntsville and where we are at today. Bajan says, was it last year when Mel did a live and I think Rasputia had peed Mel off and she told people to get the discount word, use the use the word food truck to get discount off products. You know one thing that Mel knows how to do? She knows how to sell. She knows how to run a business, honey. Like the way her discount codes are set up, most times our discount codes are a message, and I'm absolutely here for it. I love her discount codes. It's also a fun way to like connect with the audience as well. It's like with the fans. Um so yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely there. There for that. What was the name of the man who was friends with the Snots and Popper? He was the one that tried to smooth things over with Popper and Marceau. Who is that? Is it Chris? Is that Chris? Is that Chris? Chris Fletcher? Passion, I'm not sure. Is that Chris Fletcher? I'm not sure. Let me know. Oh yes, and Bold and Bougie. Yes, that's the show. That was the show. The show was ratchet, honestly. It was ratchet. It started off in a way where it was kind of projected, or it was kind of, I can't even remember the word. It was kind of portrayed. Oh my gosh, was it portrayed that I was trying to remember? That's crazy. It was sort of portrayed like it was going to be around Malaysia and her friends. Next thing, we're not even seeing Malaysia. We're not seeing enough of Malaysia. We're seeing everybody else. And it's like, is this about Malaysia and surrounding Malaysia, or was this an opportunity for Malaysia to bring people on that would now take her spots? Like, I don't understand. That show was definitely very confusing. I don't think it had enough of a strong story, not enough of the strong premise. Yeah, it was very, very weird. And I think if nothing has been done, right, I feel like OWN needs to think about the fact that Heart and Hustle Houston seems to have like gotten people interested. And I know, like, I was one of those people that would have loved more episodes of the show. And the show was generally very positive. And so it's just like there's no need for performance, for forcing drama. Most times, drama just naturally comes up anyway. So that's just the way I think about it. So the OWN and Kingdom Reign execs need to sit together and re-strategize, to be honest. Yes, I agree with you. I definitely think that they need to. Because if they're thinking about quality and what they're putting out and the sort of engagement that I would think that as a production house you would want, then yeah, they really need to sit down, re-strategize, genuinely be honest, do a retro. Where did we go wrong? This this show was doing so well. Where did we go wrong? When did it happen? When did we notice a dip? What did we do differently? And if they can sit down and genuinely be honest about how the show has moved and how the show has shown how people have decided to desert the show, then maybe things would be completely, completely different. But I don't think they're ready to do that. I think they don't care. I think if Love and Marriage Huntsville with Wanda being back, if they get more views, I don't think that they would care. Now, I want to pose a question to you guys about Miss Wanda. What do you think about Miss Wanda being back on the show? Do you like it? Would you be watching? Um, or what do you think? What do you think about Miss Wanda being back on the show? Let me know in the chat. D says, yes, I enjoyed her on Hustle Houston. Absolutely. And that's the thing, right? There was barely any fights. It was more like sisterhood and, women going through what they were going through, supporting each other. There was a little bit of conflict, but you can see that it wasn't performative. It wasn't like someone was trying to be the HBIC. Everybody was just existing and, trying to have a good time, trying to get to know each other, trying to be as transparent. And with Heart and Hustle, you can see multiple people with personalities, multiple people with different stories, right? And I would be really excited to even see them explore some of the other stories. Like, let's get to know some of these girls a little bit more. Let's get to know Chloe a little bit more. Let's get to know, is it Elena? Let's get to know her a little bit more. Um, yeah, so I would love to get to know a little bit more of their stories, who they are, um, which I think we will get if they get another season. I hope they get another season because that would be one of the shows that I definitely want to watch. Um, so yeah. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see Wanda on the new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Can I even say new season because technically it wasn't new. The show just resumed back from a break. Um, so yeah, let me know if you all want to see Wanda. Um, I see I see a comment saying no. Okay. Short and simple. I guess some people don't want to see Wanda. Wanda is probably like, what did I do to y'all? Like, what is going on? But yeah, I feel like Wanda is just one of those people. You either love her or you hate her. That's just there's almost like probably no in between, hot or cold, basically. As you can see from the comments as well, it was a mixture. Although it seems like quite a few people do like Wanda. So I guess it'll be interesting. I would be tuned in to see how people engage, to see if like more people seem to be like more interested in Love and Married Huntsville once Wanda gets back. Um, and also like I suspect it's not like they'll be putting Wanda in every episode anyway. So we'll have to see, what they do and how they bring her back on. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.